Stop wasting time when you practice guitar. Today I will give you a complete 30-minute practice plan that you can copy right away. It's designed to really blow up your progress, and the best part is you don't need to spend hours every single day. Just stick to this simple structure I will show you and you will see guaranteed results. And if you want to grab the exact exercises I recommend for this routine, I just bundled them together for you. You can grab them on Patreon, but of course I will show you the entire structure completely for free. So let's get started. So topic number one, why structure really matters. One of the biggest mistakes I see guitar players make, and it's an extremely relatable one, is just noodling around in what they call their practice routines. So just practicing random bits and pieces here and there, like a cool lick that you might have memorized. Like this 3-note per string pentatonic box, for example. So this is how it goes for most people. They pick up a guitar, they play the same riffs or licks as always, maybe sometimes learn a new song, but without structure, your progress slows to a crawl. What we need today is a routine that touches upon all the essential fundamentals: technique, fretboard knowledge, rhythm, and creativity. That way you're not only learning guitar, you're building yourself into a well-rounded player that's on the right path to achieving a professional level. I chose the time frame of 30 minutes for this to make it accessible for everyone. I know not everybody has time to practice guitar for 1 to 3 hours a day, but it truly forces you to hit every key area, so even on a very busy day, you will still be growing. So let's break it down. Here's how I personally recommend dividing your half hour each day. 5 minutes assigned to warm up and technique. Start with something that gets your fingers moving and your picking technique warmed up. Some players choose basic chromatic drills, which is fine. They're not very practical, but at least you're using every single finger. Finger independence drills can be a good choice to wake up your fretting hand in case that's your weaker hand. Or picking exercises, of course. I personally feel like I always have to wake up my wrist. The point here is not speed. That's not the goal with your very first practice block. It's clarity, control, and especially warming up both of your hands. I have a pretty special exercise for that. It's my personal favorite, and I showed it to Adam Jones of Tool, and also Rob Flynn of Machine Head is working with this approach. As I've read in an interview, he's seen it in one of my videos and adapted it for his warm-up routine as well. You can download that one on Patreon for today's video. The link is down below. The next slot will be 10 minutes long, and this one is about scales and fretboard navigation or visualization. So next you should focus on either one scale or one topic when it comes to the scales. So for example, the modes. You should play it across the neck. That sounds pretty obvious. It's a great picking workout, of course. But here's what most players miss right here. This is not just a mechanical exercise block. Aside from practicing how to connect those individual scale positions and working with different sequencing patterns, you will also practice theory and visualization at the same time, because you will always internalize the characteristic notes in each scale so that you can really accent them once you write your solos or improvise. So this is not just about mechanically drilling scales. This step should also be about learning the characteristic intervals, how the scale is actually constructed, and how to use it in a practical context. Once again, I have a personal favorite workout on this that's all about the modes. Of course, I added this one for you on Patreon as well. This will build your ability to navigate all across the neck at all times in all different keys and scales, instead of being stuck in one box on the neck without even knowing how to apply it correctly. Next, you're gonna do a 5-minute block. This one will be all about timing and rhythm. So we're shifting gears now. You can either take a chord progression, or if you're into rock and metal, something more riff-based, and you will practice picking through it or strumming through it with a focus on playing absolutely perfectly in time. So you're gonna practice with a metronome. You will focus on note spacing. You want every single stroke to line up as perfectly as possible to the click. This is something pretty much all guitarists neglect in their routines, because we're all about the flashy arpeggio shapes and shred runs and all of that. But let's be honest, in the practical context, we have to play rhythm most of the time, and it's really embarrassing to see lead guitar players that are really bad at rhythm, so they always drag or rush whenever they play really simple riffs. You don't want to be one of those people, trust me on that. So focus on your timing in this block. Use a metronome or a backing track. This will really lock in your rhythm skills. Once again, I have a favorite exercise approach when it comes to that. I added it for you on Patreon. Next 5 minutes, repertoire and application. So this is where things start to get more practical. You don't just want to work on mechanical drills. Right here you can pick a practical riff, lick or part of a solo that you want to learn because you feel like it will elevate your skills. So not just something that's fun to play and that you can already do. Right here you should apply your scale, chord and arpeggio knowledge. So I don't just want you to memorize where your fingers go in order to play the lick or riff. I also want you to analyze what key this is in, what scale is used, what arpeggio is used, and so on. So this is where you start connecting practice to the music you actually want to play and compose yourself. And then for the last 5 minutes, this is really important, we need to finish with something fun and practical. That's my personal biggest hack in order to make it fun to return to the routine on the next day. Don't save the craziest, most frustrating part for the end. This is all about just jamming. I would recommend putting on a backing track where you're familiar with the chord changes and you want to make sure to accent all these chord changes accordingly. A great exercise is not just playing the root note over every single chord, playing the seventh over every single chord, for example, the correct major or minor seventh, or more interesting intervals that bring out the melodies and true colors of the chords. You can find a lot of backing tracks on YouTube where you can see the chord progression. So don't just use one scale and play it up and down over the backing track, accent the chord changes. If you never did that before, I also attached a really helpful video and exercise approach for you on Patreon. Now section number 3, why this actually works. This is something important as well. This plan works because it covers all the bases in a balanced way. You're training your technique, of course, your fretboard knowledge, your rhythm, your repertoire, and also your creativity. Every single time you pick up the guitar. And 30 minutes should be short enough for you that you will actually finally stick to it. Because consistency always beats those super long marathon sessions that you just do once in a while. Now, if you want to make this super easy for you, I've put together a practice package for you called the Guitar Accelerator 30-minute practice blueprint. You will get my personal preferred warm-ups, scale patterns and exercises, written workouts, improvisation prompts, all of the stuff we discussed today, so that you don't have to fill those practice blocks by yourself. You get my preferred exercises that I'm personally working on, and I've worked on thousands of exercises over the last 10 years. So trust me, I know which ones work and which ones are a waste of time. It's available only on my Patreon, the link is down below. And once you become my student over there, you also get access to all of my premium guitar courses. They're included for free for all of my Patreon members over there as well. So copy this practice plan, stick to it for just a few weeks, and let me know in the comments how it's going. Download the new practice package on Patreon and have an amazing day. Greetings from LA and bye-bye.